a lot of mana regen and a lot of AP, so it seems like you're just running the wrong page. The way that the lane goes is going to rely heavily on the fact that you have these incorrect runes and masteries. But I'll try to ignore that as much as possible because I'm just going to assume that you accidentally picked the wrong set at startup. If these are the runes that you like to run on Sona, then the runes and masteries, then I suggest trying to run tankier runes and seeing how much more you're able to trade. Normally I would say with Sona Ezreal you absolutely have enough damage to do double golems at level 1, but because you don't have any armor or MR, or even the 30 HP at level 1, it's definitely correct to not do it. So that soft pushing that Ezreal started doing at the beginning was very, very good. And if your carry doesn't do that, then you can do it for him, because it just means that you guys are going to hit level 2 first, because each one of your creeps is going to die before each one of theirs. If you're able to get a Q off, you're able to get an auto attack off, and especially with your power cord up, it's important to get the auto attack damage off as much as possible. That said, right now you're dead. You don't have a biscuit to stack on top of an HP pot, so you can't really out-regen and ignite. So if the two of them both flashed on you, and exhausted Ezreal so that he can't kill them back, and they have 2 exhausts, so they can actually keep Ezreal exhausted for a really long time. If they both flashed on top of you and tried to kill you, you are 100% dead, because you just have absolutely no resist. So I would be playing this lane extremely passively just because you have the wrong Rune Mastery setup. But that said, that's the sort of poking that you do want to do with Sona when you have a tankier setup, so that you're not taking quite so much damage from basic attacks from a level 280 carry. So again, right there, Ashe could have attacked you back, and you would have lost a significant amount of your health. So you should be aware of just how squishy you are, and make sure that you don't take too much free damage. That was a good avoiding juking into the Frost Arrow. Against an Ashe, you want to be standing behind your creeps as much as possible. And avoid walking into the bushes against the Nidalee, because her traps, again, they could just flash on top of you and kill you. I'd say, okay, so they don't have an ignite, so they would have to kill you with just their skills, but they could probably kill you when, like, even at this point, if they were on top of you, they could probably kill you. Definitely before, when you have your armor and MR lowered even more from the Nidalee trap, they can just kill you. And one thing that I think I forgot to mention earlier is that if Ezreal or you is about to be hit by a Nidalee spear and your heal is up, you should try to heal as the spear is hitting, so that he gets the extra bonus MR that happens for the first 2 seconds after you W, so that the damage from the spear is mitigated. It's the same principle as healing with Soraka right before your carry takes a lot of damage. You want to heal with Sona, like, right before they take a tower shot, right before they take a skill shot. Right there would have been a good time for you to W to mitigate the damage from the spear, because that extra bonus is going to make a noticeable impact on the amount of damage that he takes. Again, you're easily dead right there. And you're dead again, right there, if Ashe flashed on top of you, and she just has to turn on her Q, and then she can just run you down and kill you. And since they have 2 exhausts, Ezreal's not going to be able to do any damage in return. Okay, so you don't know 100% that Nidalee is gone, but you probably, yeah, you have enough money for a red crystal. I'm not actually sure what the numbers are with this low armor and MR, whether you actually want to get a red crystal or you want to get a cloth armor in terms of being able to survive more, but having more HP is probably good because you're taking magical damage from Nidalee and physical damage from Ashe, so you just need to get tanky very, very quickly because of the Rinse and Masters that you have. So even if they don't have kill potential and you're playing a passive lane, so you want to get the Philo Stone, you should most likely just go for the extra HP, just because you're so squishy. Okay, so with Ezreal and base, you guys just didn't really communicate about what time you were going to go back to well, and so you ended up not going at the same time. So far you've gotten 2 XP worth of creeps, 3 XP worth of creeps, except that one you didn't really need to attack. So 4 XP worth of creeps, and then probably one more, but you don't even get that one. So you got 4 XP worth of creeps, and I think 1 creep worth of gold by not going back a second time, and that stopped you from having any potions on you when Ezreal gets back to lane. So aside from you being able to sustain yourself with mana for healing, you have no sustain from potions. Whereas if you had gone back, you would have missed out on 4 creeps worth of XP, but you would have you'd have 2 potions now. And against a lane that's trying to poke as much as Nidalee is, those 2 potions can be huge. Or a second ward, which will also be good. This is way too far out for you to be. Ashe is 6. She could have just arrowed you just now, and then you were just dead. If Ashe arrowed you, Nidalee's going to be able to get a full range spear on you, and they're just going to be able to kill you. So walking up like that was really, really dangerous. But Ashe didn't respond to it, but like, even if you had your full rune set with armor reds, armor yellows, MR blues, and HP cleanse, even if you were running that, that would have been dangerous to do, because Ashe has her arrow up. Okay, yeah, that was a really good response to Ashe's arrow going into another lane, is just to ult her immediately. What you didn't do is ping across the minimap that there was an arrow going. If possible, I would even make a macro on a mouse button or something just when playing against Ashe that says arrow. I don't actually do this, but I think it's a really good idea to do. Just so that you can press that macro that says Ashe arrow coming and then ping across the map for it to go. But at the very least, you should ping just 3 times. I don't know. Yeah, you can't ping in spectator, but just ping like 3 times along the path with the arrow when just saying there's an arrow, watch out. Same thing goes for an Ezreal. Just anything that's across map ult from your carry where it's likely to affect someone in another lane. It's just good to ping that that's happening on the map. Yeah, you guys really want to buy right now. I would definitely get a red crystal now, since you didn't before. Just try to get tankier. Okay, a class is also fine. So it looks like you're going for an emblem into an Aegis. Make sure that Shen isn't going Aegis, because frequently Shen is going to want to go Aegis. And you don't really want to double up on Aegis on a range support. On Leon or Taric, it's much better, or like it's much more okay, I guess, to double up on an Aegis, because both of you want the tanky stats. But you don't need the tanky stats quite so much on Sona, depending on how much you want to stand in the middle of an auto attack versus just put your ult down. But generally speaking, it's better to get more utility items on range supports, because like having the CDR is more important than being super tanky. And it's very nice to be tanky, and so if my jungler is not getting an Aegis, I love getting an Aegis, but It's just that it's generally more important to have an Aegis on the tankier person. It also depends on whether you want the Aegis aura to be, like, if the team fight is likely to be very split up, it depends on whether you want the Aegis aura more importantly on your carry or more importantly on your divers. And if your team fight is going to be split up like that, then it's also totally fine to get an Aegis. So I guess the point is, it's absolutely okay to get an Aegis. You might want to go Shirley's first. Shirley's is really good for dodging Ash arrows. It's good for dodging Malphite ult. It's good for having your team fall up onto a Shen taunt. Your initiate isn't that good, so having an Shirley's is going to be able to help you all get into position to initiate a lot better. So I would just go for that first. Like, you already have the Philo. If you had flash ulted Ash there, she was dead. Well, you got the kill eventually. That was actually really good that you did that. Like, that was the correct response to not having killed her earlier. And I wasn't watching the minimap just now, so I'm not sure where he came from, but it's totally fine to flash and take a kill from your carry if your carry is not going to be able to get it. But yeah, you should have flash ulted earlier when Ezreal is getting a lot of damage done. And right after you step on a Nilly trap, you can put down a W aura to help mitigate the damage that you take from the dot that the Nilly trap puts on you. I don't really know why you're walking up to Malphite, but if you ult Nilly and Ashe, then your team can kill them. There should have been a much earlier ult onto Nidalee and Ashe, or just an ult onto Malphite, and then you missed your ult onto Nidalee. If you're trying to ult a single person, just pretend that it's a targeted spell and just put your cursor over them. It's harder if you're trying to hit multiple people, but with practice, you'll just get better at it. When you round up to Malphite, if you're gonna ult him, or if you're trying to kill him, ult him. If you're not trying to kill him, don't run up to him, but sort of running up to him, and then not really doing anything, and then also not ulting Nidalee and Ashe when your team came. You just could have responded better in general. Also, I would have taken my E at level 8. So have, like, by the time that you have your, by the time you're going to be getting your 3rd level of W, you probably want to get your 1st level of E instead. It makes it better, it makes it easier for you to chase down people, it makes it easier for you to get away from people, and it allows you to get a power chord much quicker. If you only have the 2 spells, then it takes 2 rotations of your cooldown to get a 2nd power chord after you have just had a power chord. But if you have 3 spells, you can do it in a single rotation. So it's a difference between 14 seconds and 7 seconds, basically, on getting other power chords. So that increases your damage a lot, and it also increases your utility a lot, even if you never use the E chord, even if you're just using the W chord. The W chord is a huge decrease in damage from whatever target you put it on. And then on top of that, the E chord is just really useful to have. So I definitely, I agree with taking W at level 4 in this lane, because you didn't really have any kill potential against them, so you don't really need the CC. And you were also so squishy that like, you really wanted to have the extra defensive aura, and you really wanted to be healing for the extra amount. So don't take E in this situation at level 4, but definitely do take it at level 8. instead of taking